Hey guys, so we're going to talk about the telephone consultation that I received. So I specifically asked for the consultant, the main consultant who's going to be doing the surgery, because I've seen him before, and I just wanted to talk to him about the procedure, about my concerns. Anyway, I get this phone call and I realise it's off the same woman that I saw on the follow-up appointment, so the second time I went in to see the ENT basically. And what she said, tell me about the fact that you can't get to the hospital. And I said, well, that really is the least of my problems, the fact that I can't get to the hospital that you're telling me to get to. I said, and I've sorted that out now. And she said, well, what happened? So I said, basically, I called the waiting list department. The person that I spoke to was very rude, and she started laughing down the phone, and I'm thinking, wow. I don't know whether it was nerves on her part or what. So I'm like, don't laugh. I didn't say don't laugh, obviously. So I said, look, I've sorted it out. I've managed to get an appointment at my local hospital, so that's absolutely fine. That's not what my concern is. My concern is this surgery. My concern is what you said when I came in for the follow-up appointment, and she said, yeah, can we go through that again? So it was like she'd forgotten. So I said, yeah, please talk me through it. So basically, I said, look, I'm not happy that on the consent form, I know you have to put the risks down, but like in bold letters it says, is at risk of blindness, can cause blindness. That's the surgery and can cause meningitis. The main one is obviously can cause blindness. That's a huge risk. And then she said, well, to be honest, it's not the blindness that we worry about. And I said, well, what do you mean? I said, so I said, what do you mean? Is it the meningitis? And she said, no. She said, it's not the meningitis. What we look out for really is a bleed on the brain, because we're operating so close to the brain. We look out for that. And I'm like, well, what is the risk of that? And she said, well, I've not seen it. But just because she hasn't seen it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right? I said, I'm really worried now. I said, because the consent form says is at risk of blindness. Now you're telling me there could be a bleed on the brain. And she said, I'm just telling you what could happen. I'm not saying it is going to happen. And I said, right. And I said, and will there be any bruising after the operation? Because I've seen quite a few pictures of this surgery that I'm having, and there's bruising around the eye area, like bloody bruising. It looks awful. That's not really kind of a major thing though, is it? I mean, it will go down eventually. But I'm just worried about the surgery, about the risk now that there's another risk of bleed on the brain. And like she says, it might not happen. And I'm like saying to her, well, in your opinion, do I need to have this surgery? And she said, well, you definitely need to have the nasal polyp removed. She said, because that's just going to grow and grow, and we need to do the biopsy on it. And I said, right. And I said, and the sinuses. She said, you need that as well. You're just going to get sicker and sicker and sicker. She said, I'm quite surprised you're not getting any pain now. And I said, well, I am. And she said, well, there you go then. We actually need to drain the fluid from the sinuses. And she said, we do this operation on a daily basis. That's all I wanted originally. That's all I wanted. I wanted some reassurance. That's it. Basically I said, right. I said, I'm just very, very worried about it. And she said, well, when's your operation? And I said, on the 25th of October. And she said, well, I'll be there. I'll be there to talk to you. I'll come and see you. And I'm thinking, I just want to see my original ENT, who I can understand a little better, who's doing the surgery, so he can reassure me. Why is that so hard for them to make happen? Anyway, today is pre-op assessment day, guys, so I've got to go. I should have gone by now, but I wanted to get this TikTok up. So I'm going to the local hospital, which is 2 buses away. I'm going to pick my mum up now, well, meet her, and we're going to go to the hospital, and then we're going to go out for lunch, so at least there's something good at the end of it, hey? So yeah, I will also, once I get to the hospital, obviously I'll talk to you there, and I'll show you where we're going in the hospital. It's just a pre-op assessment, and then I'll talk to you about what happened in the pre-op, just so you know what to expect if you're having to have this surgery as well. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.